All right, today we're going deep inside one of the most effective and honestly, one of the most predatory sales systems out there, the in-home water filter scam. We're going to do a forensic breakdown of how simple chemistry and our own primal fears are weaponized. They literally turn your kitchen into a crime scene, all to convince you that your family is in immediate danger, and of course, that the only solution is a piece of equipment with a just staggering price tag. And that right there, that is the absolute heart of this whole thing. This scam isn't really about your health, not at all. It's about psychological manipulation, pure and simple. You think you're buying safety for your family, but what you're really paying for is a front row seat to a magic trick, a chemical illusion that's been specifically designed to short-circuit the part of your brain that thinks critically about a price tag. So, let's start with the centerpiece of the entire operation, that little water test the salesperson does. I want you to get this right from the beginning. What you're seeing is not a scientific analysis. It's a performance. It's a carefully staged illusion. So the salesperson takes a glass of your own tap water, right? And they stick this little device in it. And then, bam, within seconds, that clear water turns into this disgusting black sludge. They'll look you right in the eye and claim, this is the invisible poison in your pipes, finally made visible. But what are you really looking at? Okay, this is the core deception. The big lie. That black sludge, it's not poison from your tap. It's rust. And get this, it's created by the device itself. See, the device has two different metal rods, usually iron and aluminum. When they flip the switch, an electric current makes the iron rod rust, like really fast. And that rust reacts with the totally normal, totally harmless minerals that are already in your water. In fact, and this is the crazy part, the more healthy minerals you have, like calcium and magnesium, the darker and nastier that sludge is going to look. The trick wouldn't even work with pure distilled water because there's nothing for the rust to react with. So you might be thinking, okay, if it's just a middle school science trick, why on earth is it so devastatingly effective? Well, to understand that, we have to look at the psychological trap it sets. There's a name for this. It's called Bio-Insecurity. Look, our brains are hardwired for survival, right? So when we see a direct threat to something we absolutely need to live, like our water, our primitive survival instincts just kick into high gear. The logical, analytical part of our brain, the part that questions an $8,000 price tag, it gets completely shoved aside by our amygdala, which is basically the brain's alarm system. It's just screaming, danger, danger. And of course, the scammers know exactly who to target with this. They go after new parents who are absolutely terrified of anything harming their new baby. And they go after older adults who might be more concerned about health issues. They are literally weaponizing the most fundamental human need there owns, the need to protect our families. And the result isn't just a financial loss. It's a deep emotional violation that leaves people feeling anxious and unsafe in the one place they should feel the most secure, their own home. And this is the true cost of that fear. That water filter, it might only be worth maybe $300. But through high-pressure tactics and these really predatory financing agreements that people sign under extreme emotional distress, that price just balloons to $8,000 or even more. You see, the real profit isn't in the filter itself. It's in the fear-fueled financing. So, how do they actually get from your front door to getting your signature on an $8,000 contract? Well, it's not random. It's a cold, clinical, step-by-step social engineering operation. So let's break down their playbook. This whole process is incredibly methodical. It starts with what's called authority mimicry, maybe a fake water quality alert in the mail to get them in the door. Then there's the grooming phase, where a so-called technician throws a bunch of jargon at you to build trust. And then the main event, the visual trauma hook. That's the sludge demo. That's immediately followed by fear conditioning escalation, where they start linking that sludge to things like cancer or developmental issues. Then they create an urgency anchor, like a limited time rebate to stop you from thinking it over. After that, it's predatory extraction, pressuring you to sign a high-interest contract right then and there. And finally, the concealment exit, where they pack up and leave as fast as they can before you have a chance to change your mind. Now that step, the visual trauma hook, that is the most crucial part of this whole scam. The entire purpose of that sludge demo is to be so shocking, so visually repulsive, that it creates a psychological point of no return. Seriously, once you see that poison appearing in a glass of your own water, your emotional brain just seizes control of the entire situation. From that moment on, they're not selling to a rational consumer anymore. they're selling to a terrified parent. So why does this playbook work so well? It's because it doesn't target your intelligence, not at all. It targets the built-in glitches in all of our cognitive wiring. So let's explore the specific biases that make every single one of us vulnerable to this.
One of the biggest ones is something called the ambiguity effect. See, our brains just hate uncertainty, especially when it comes to safety. So the salesperson manufactures this terrifying unknown. What could be in your water? And then the filter, no matter how expensive, is presented as the known solution. You're not really paying $8,000 for a filter. You're paying $8,000 to get rid of an uncertain threat. And that's a price your panicked brain is more than willing to pay just to feel safe again.
Next up, they create what's called cognitive overload. They'll start throwing around all these technical sounding terms like total dissolved solids or parts per million. The goal here isn't to educate you, it's to intimidate you. It's designed to make you feel like you're just too ignorant to question the expert sitting in your kitchen. This creates a power imbalance, what they call information asymmetry, where you feel like they have all the knowledge, so you're forced to just trust them. While all this is happening, there's a battle raging inside your head. Psychologists often talk about two systems in our brains. There's System 1, that's your fast, emotional, gut instinct brain, and then there's System 2, your slow, analytical, rational brain. The sludge demo is designed to trigger your emotional System 1 into a full-blown panic. And while that's happening, your rational System 2 is trying to do the math and ask questions, but its voice is just drowned out by that primal scream for safety. This whole scam is engineered to make sure your emotional brain wins that battle every single time. Oh, and they don't stop there. They layer on even more pressure. They use something called reciprocity, making you feel like you owe them something for the free test. They'll use fake social proof, maybe showing you some made-up order forms from your neighbors to make you feel like you're the only one not protecting your family. And then finally, there's just sheer physical presence pressure. They will just not leave. They wear you down until signing that contract feels like the only way to get them out of your house.
Okay, so we've completely deconstructed the attack. Now, let's build the defense. This is your immunity playbook, because knowing how the scam works, that is the first and most critical step to defeating it.
So here's your defense toolkit. First, the electrolysis red flag. The moment that little device comes out, you know it's a scam, not science. The meeting is over. End it right there. Second, do a market price audit. A quick search on your phone will show you what these things are really worth, which is way, way less. And third, the most powerful tool you have, the 72-hour rule. Look, no legitimate offer is going to expire the second a salesperson walks out the door. Give yourself 3 days. That's enough time for the fear to fade and for your rational brain to get back in the driver's seat. But your single most powerful weapon, the one that shuts down this entire scam instantly, is independent verification. This scam only, and I mean only, works if they are your sole source of information. You have to break that loop. And here is the exact script to use. I mean it, memorize this sentence. Thank you for the demonstration. I only accept data from certified third-party labs. I'll be contacting my local utility department for their official report. That's it. It's polite, it's non-confrontational, and it's absolutely unbreakable. It shows them you're making a decision based on objective facts, not on the fear they just tried to sell you. So this whole explainer really boils down to one essential, unshakable principle. When it comes to the health and safety of your family, where should your trust actually lie? Here's the absolute truth of it. Real water contamination that's reported by public health officials, by scientists, by your city's own utility department, it is not reported by a salesperson on commission performing a magic trick at your kitchen table. A genuinely good product never, ever needs a terrifying performance to be sold. So just remember this mantra. Fear is a sales tactic, not a diagnosis. This scam works by hijacking your survival instinct, pure and simple. But by understanding their playbook, from that electrolysis hook all the way to the psychology of bio-insecurity, and by arming yourself with the simple principle of independent lab verification, you take back all the control. You stop being a target, and you become an informed consumer. You learn to trust the lab, not the beaker.